Today in 11 biology we will start with the gymnosperm. The gymnosperm means naked seeded plant in which ovules are not enclosed by any ovarial wall and they remain exposed both before and after fertilization. The seeds are developed post fertilization and not covered, are called naked. Gymnosperm include medium sized trees, tall trees and shrubs also. One of the gymnosperm giant redwood sequoia, one of the tallest tree species. The roots are generally taproot. Root in some genera have fungal association, that is called the mycorrhiza, that is with pinus. In some cycas also some specialized roots also called colloid root, associated with the nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. Stems are unbranched cycas or branched pinus cedrus. These leaves may be simple or compound. In cycas, the pinnate leaves persist for a few years. The leaves in gymnosperm are well adapted to withstand extreme temperature, humidity and wind. The thick cuticle and sunken stomata also help to reduce water loss. Gymnosperm are heterosporous. They produce haploid microspore and megaspore. Two kinds of spore are produced within sporangia. They are borne on sporophylls, which are arranged spirally along with the axis from lax to compact strobilus or cones. Strobili bearing microsporophyll and microsporangia are called the microsporangiate or male strobili. The microspore developed from the male gametophytic generation, which is highly reduced. In case of confined only limited number of cell, the reduced gametophyte is called the pollen grain. The development of pollen grain takes place within the microsporangia. The cones bearing megasporophyll with ovules, that is megasporangia, are called macrosporangiate or micro female strobili. The megaspore mother cell is differentiated from one of the cell, the nucellus. The nucellus is protected by envelope and the composite structure is called ovule. The megaspore mother cell divides meiotically to form 4 megaspore. One of the megaspore enclosed within the megasporangium, that is nucellus, develops into multicellular female gametophyte that bear 2 or more archegonia or female sex organ. The multicellular female gametophyte is also retained within the megasporangium. They remain within the sporangia retained on the sporophyte. The pollen grain is released from the microsporangium. The pollen tube carrying the male gamete grows towards archegonia in the ovules and discharge their content near the mouth of the archegonia. So these are the fertilization. Zygote develops into an embryo and ovules into seed, and seeds are not covered. So these are the structural arrangement of gymnosperm. Now move on to the another topic, that is angiosperm. Like the gymnosperm, where the ovules are naked, in the angiosperm or flowering plant, the pollen grains or ovules developed in specialized structure called the flower. In angiosperm, the seeds are enclosed by fruit. Angiosperm are exceptionally large group of plants occurring in the wide range of habitat. The range size from teeny, almost microscopic Ulfia to the tall trees Eucalyptus over 100 meters. They provide us with food, fodder, fuel, medicine and several other commercially important products. They also divided into 2 classes, that is one is dicotyledons and one is monocotyledons. Dicotyledons are characterized by having 2 cotyledons and the seeds with the monocotyledon having only 1 cotyledon. Sex organ in the flower is stamen, male sex organ. Each stamen consists of a slender filament with another tip, anther at the tip, whether anther following the meiosis producing pollen grain, whether female sex organ flowering pistil or the carpel, consists of ovary enclosing one or many ovules within the ovule and termed as embryo sacs. An embryo sac formation preserved by the meiosis, hence of the cell embryo sac is haploid. And next day we will start with the double fertilization in case of angiosperm. So today up to that, next we will start with another